violence or no other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
There is a suspect in custody after someone shot and killed an Atlanta security guard earlier this month. 28-year-old Ty Ross was a bouncer at the Encore Hookah Bar and Bistro off Lucky Street downtown. His girlfriend, Aaliyah Strong, says she just wants someone to be held accountable.
Wow, guys. So, I did this story where the security guard was shot and killed at the hookah lounge. I believe that was, what event was going on this past summer? What was it? Oh man, it's slipping my mind, but it was at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Oh, the national championship. Not the national championship, the SEC championship. Okay, so very wild weekend held in Atlanta. It was the Dogs versus Alabama. And literally a few blocks down the street, a man was killed at a hookah lounge. And obviously, we all know that you can't really go to these Super Gremlin bars and clubs and expect everything to go well that night, all right? We've seen multiple times where you tell Super Gremlins to leave the premises, and then they come back spinning the block. So it's very unfortunate that this man was killed. Shout out to this brother. He looked like a stand-up individual. So RIP and sorry for the loss of his girlfriend. But man, it just goes to show that the community continues to eat its own, and we're killing the best of us. We're killing the most innocent, the most valiant, the most honorable of us, and leaving the rest of these super gremlins out here to commence with their demonic activities.
Like, I just want somebody to be held accountable. I am glad that somebody...
Whoa, I ain't gonna lie, she looked like a whole different person. She looked like a whole different person in that picture, no cap.
His girlfriend, Aaliyah Strong, says she just wants someone to be held accountable.
Like, I just want somebody to be held accountable. I am glad that somebody, was arrested today.
Atlanta police say they've arrested a 21-year-old man and charged him with several things, including murder. The department credits its homicide investigators and fugitive unit for tracking down the suspect.
A man shot while on the construction site at a Northeast Atlanta apartment building is speaking out tonight. He's one of 4 victims shot in Atlanta in unrelated shootings in less than 2 hours Wednesday night. Fox 5's Angelique Proctor says the shooting victim must now learn to walk again.
The construction supervisor tells me he was wrapping up for the evening. He said he saw a group of teens coming his way, and they went inside this construction zone area. He said they started pulling on the door handles of his SUV, as well as some of the apartments along here. When he asked them to clear the construction zone and told him the sidewalk was closed, he said that is when the bullets started flying.
So you see, they didn't start shooting until this guy asked these super gremlins to leave. And shout out to Ak Nation. He famously said that if you're going to ask a super gremlin to leave the premises, you better be leaving shortly thereafter, or understand that they're coming back to spin the block. So you got to share my videos. You got to share Ak Nation's videos, because it's extremely important to get this information out, because it could save your life.
These guys were real bold, because it was well-lit area.
The contracting supervisor talked with us from his hospital bed, but did not want to share his name for safety reasons. He was leaving the Quill Apartments construction site on LaFace Street in Northeast Atlanta Wednesday night when he noticed 8 males and 1 female enter the closed sidewalk and his construction zone.
Woo! 8 super gremlins and 1 female super gremlin? Huh. you're outnumbered with 1 super gremlin. So imagine 8.
They were both off limits to the public. He asked the teens to leave, but he says they responded with gunfire.
So I just told them that the facility is not open to patrons. One of the guys said, "You only gotta tell us once," and I said, "Okay." After that, they pulled out guns and started shooting at me.
The contracting supervisor says he was startled. Bullets just started flying.
It was about 15 to 20 shots. And, I dove toward my car. There were 2 shooters shooting like Glocks with an extended mag in it.
Told you guys about these extendo clips. Every super gremlin got them. It's like a pair of J's now.
They just kept shooting and running backwards.
The 51-year-old father used his car as a shield and dodged most of the bullets, but one struck him in the hip. After emergency surgery, he will now have to learn to walk again.
I have to rehab. Got a fractured hip, which the bullet lodged into my joint. And so they had to pull it out in surgery.
There is some good news. The shooting victim tells me police got a pretty good look at the shooters from surveillance video from a camera that was in the area. And they hope now that that video will lead to an arrest. In Northeast Atlanta, Angelique Proctor, Fox 5 News.
A man who helps the homeless was back out there again tonight, despite getting carjacked by someone he was trying to help. He says he tried to stop the carjacker and got dragged down the road holding onto the car, but thankfully, George, he's okay.
Wow. So this guy is trying to help the homeless, and he ends up getting robbed by one of the super gremlins that he's trying to help.
Can you imagine that, Wendy? That's just crazy. Now, this is what he deals with. He has a cast on his hand as a reminder of his good deed. Channel 2's Justin Wilfon joining us live now after speaking with that guy. And Justin, when they took his car, they took his supplies, but that's not stopping him.
And shout out to this guy. He's resilient. He's resourceful. He's persistent. He's not going to let this one hiccup stop him from doing what he believes is the right thing. This is what I will say, though. In the community, you have to understand, you have to comprehend, you have to overstand, if you will, that no good deed goes unpunished in the community, especially when you're dealing with these super gremlins on demon time.
No, George, he is already back out here on the streets of Northwest Atlanta tonight, giving help to those who desperately need it 1 week after he says he was carjacked.
I just ran into the wrong guy the other night.
It's where Marshall Rancifer spends most of his time, on the streets of Atlanta, helping the people who remind him of himself.
26 years ago, I was one of the addicts on this street over here. I used to roam this neighborhood looking for drugs, and now I roam this neighborhood helping other people try to get them out of addiction.
He showed me a neighborhood in Northwest Atlanta known as The Bluff.
Woo! And if you guys have not seen Snow in the Bluff, go ahead and check it out. It's a pretty accurate representation of this neighborhood in Atlanta, but it's a really rough neighborhood, part of the community. As you can see, they're not really taking good care of the area. So pretty much tells you all you need to know.
Known as The Bluff, long notorious for crime and drugs, a place where Marshall says he's needed the most.
Because I remember when it was me, and when nobody would help me over here.
But last week here, while trying to deliver clothes and other supplies to the people here who are homeless and addicted to drugs, he says one of them carjacked him.
Next thing I know, he in my truck, and I heard the door slam, and I jumped up on the running boards to try to stop him.
Marshall told me he reached for the taser he keeps in his SUV for safety, but dropped it.
Next thing I know, I'm dragging him along the street beside the truck.
Marshall gave me these pictures of the paramedics that arrived to help him. Somehow, he suffered only minor injuries. According to this incident report we obtained from Atlanta police, police arrested the suspect the next day after they say he tried to sell some of the stolen supplies from Marshall's SUV, supplies Marshall intended on giving to the homeless. Marshall now has his SUV back. It's restocked with supplies, and Marshall is back on the streets.
Don't let nothing keep me from the people that I serve.
What a heart right there. And Channel 2's Justin Wilfon joining us back out live in Northwest Atlanta. Justin, what do we know about the suspect in this case?
Wendy, we got this mugshot tonight.
There you go. The infamous, the unmatched Super Gremlin himself. I mean, what do you say, man? It's a grown man. One of the OGs, one of these dudes that we supposed to be looking up to and asking for guidance and wisdom from. Yeah, not anymore. Okay? Not anymore. The OGs have failed the community, and the brother who is giving back to the homeless, he's trying to right his wrongs. But it seems like he just can't get away from a Super Gremlin on demon time.
From the Fulton County Jail, take a look here. This is 56-year-old Christopher Nolan of College Park. He remains in jail tonight, now facing several charges. And again, police say they have a picture of Nolan selling some of Marshall's stolen supplies. Wendy?
Well, it's good to see at least that the other gentleman is still out there doing his mission work. Justin, thank you.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comments section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
Guard crews are in the Gulf of Mexico searching for a 32-year-old woman who reportedly went overboard on a New Orleans-bound cruise ship. Caitlin Russ spoke with other passengers and has more on what happened.
They come over the loudspeaker and said, "Man overboard, starboard side."
Everybody ran to the side of the boat.
Absolute shock and horror aboard the Carnival Valor.
I've been on many a cruise, never dreamed I would hear a man overboard in my life.
As you look over the side rails, you think like, will somebody fall? But you don't actually think that like somebody's going to jump into them.
Fellow passengers say a woman was causing a disturbance on the 10th deck of the 11-deck ship and was detained by security.
So they're telling you what kind of happened. What happened is the woman got in a fight. Female Super Gremlin got in a fight. She was being detained by authorities, and she over here cutting a fool, nutting up, talking back, saying all this type of stuff. Obviously, she was going through some, had a lot of attitude, and it appears that she didn't want to get thrown in the brig, and she, you know, unapprehended herself and jumped overboard.
Apparently, she was handcuffed. She jumped over the side of the ship.
And this is what I don't understand. You're a woman, and y'all know these Super Gremlins can't swim. You're handcuffed, and your bright idea to get away from authorities is to jump in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. Can't swim. You're handcuffed. You ain't had a lick of training via Navy SEAL or Marines or anything. Like, I swear, and I honestly don't think she wanted to end herself, end her life. I think that she just feel like a lot of these women, they just feel like they're invincible. Seriously. And it's bonkers to me.
She jumped off, supposedly she hit her head inside the boat, and then she hit the water face first.
These accounts have not been confirmed by Carnival or the Coast Guard, which says the call came in around 2:30, but one passenger says she heard man overboard and tried to jump in after the woman.
She kind of was walking around like a...
Are you crazy? What?
Feel like she couldn't get over onto her back and was trying to grab onto it. I took my shoes off, took my 75 off, set out ready to drive. I don't know if you can show them, but right here, I was standing right here on this, was about ready to jump.
That woman says she was stopped by crew members. They threw this flare in to mark her location, but everyone we spoke to said she had gone under and hasn't been spotted since.
Damn, Shorty swimming with the fishies for real.
150 miles off the coast.
They said that they're going to keep circling until the Coast Guard gets here, which the Coast Guard is coming out of Miami right now. They dropped this little globe thing to try to sense any activity within 5 miles each direction. But they didn't. They have a cargo ship out here that's also stopped to assist in some search to see if they can find her.
Everybody's just really thinking about this lady and her family right now is what they're doing. No matter what the situation is. Doesn't matter that she was handcuffed, maybe out of control or anything else.
But yes, it does. It does matter. Like, they're trying to act like it's completely irrelevant. It's unfortunate, but she's a fool. She's a fool. And people need to call that out. Like, I mean, why are they trying to give her the benefit of the doubt? I get it that, she lost her life, but how could you be so stupid to jump into water handcuffed? Makes no sense.
She's still an American, and it's very somber out here right now.
Well, I guarantee if you asked her what she thought about this country, she would say that she hates this country. And I mean, this is the mindset of a lot of these female super gremlins. I'm just telling you, this country ain't did nothing for her. She hate this country and this, that, and the third. So correct me if I'm wrong.
The Coast Guard tells us the ship left from Cozumel yesterday around 3:30. Air crews are searching for the woman right now. The ship was supposed to dock in New Orleans tomorrow morning. Shelly?
All right, guys. So I'm going to show you how this female super gremlin was acting a fool. She got the fighting. She got apprehended, and she's still acting a fool.
Alicia!
Very quick, well done. All right, this one. Name 3 prime time for late.
Get it real.
And Shorty, when she jumped in that water, she immediately sank. I mean, she probably didn't even pedal her feet. They said she hit her head going down. So, ooh, I know that was a nasty fall.
They feel? She way at the back. They gone back there, so she at the back. Who was it? I think it was the lady. Yeah, oh my God.
Shorty was like, Alicia! I mean, I don't want to make light of the situation, but what sense does that make? Just take the L, bro. I swear these women just think that they're invincible. And I guarantee she wasn't trying to take herself out. I guarantee she wasn't trying to take herself out. But she probably just felt like she was going to get... Where are you going to go? You're 150 miles off of the coast. Who's going to bring you back to shore? Finding Nemo? Ariel? Y'all know Ursula ain't bring... I mean, who is it? Aquaman? Maybe.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot.
So it is what it is.